Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, so much new TV to dish about. I'll give you my thoughts on the new show, WandaVision from Marvel. Plus, HBO is out with their Tiger Woods documentary. And if you love true crime, boy, do I have a docuseries for you. Then Shayla from Plant Penthouse is back with great tips on keeping your plants alive and well during these harsh winter months. And yesterday, producer Ted shocked America by revealing he hates banana bread. Well, it looks like he started a movement because you are telling us the foods you can't stand. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Look, not a crying baby. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to The Jason Show. We are live from our studios in the Twin Cities. I'm Jace, complete with no crying baby. She's not crying. She's back and a year older and a year lovelier. It's Kendall Mark, everyone. Good
Hello.
morning.
Good morning. I felt like crying
Why?
on my birthday. I'm kidding. No, I didn't feel like crying. It's just the age-old joke of once you hit a certain age, there's really nothing to look forward to.
Oh, wow. Okay. You have a long time to go, Sister Soldier. You have a long time to go. Just call me when you're 46. Then I'll tell you about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 40s. Oprah lied. I know.
Oprah lied. The 40s are horrible. To me, I hate them.
Hate them.
Hate every single year.
Don't
Hate
we
'em.
work on the show that you started in your 40s?
What? I'm sorry?
This show was started while you were in your 40s.
It's a positive thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
One thing.
Yeah.
Just the one.
Just. I'm not kidding. Your age, I loved.
Yeah.
34. Ugh. 34.
I'm hoping 34 is great. The 30s so far have been terrible.
Oh yeah. They'll get
Global
better.
Pandemic and
They
all.
get better. But did you have a good birthday?
I did. I did like nothing yesterday. It was fabulous.
Oh, good. You didn't take
Yeah.
any pictures or anything?
You are so sassy right now. I shared a lot of photos. Yeah, thanks, Jason. Jason likes to make fun of me in my photos that I take of myself.
Leo, can you take camera 6? I'm practicing. I told the audience yesterday, I wasn't going to tell you, but I told the audience about your photo shoots.
Yeah.
I love your fancy photo shoots.
Jason, there's nowhere to go. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not doing anything. And I have to keep the gram happy.
Can we take the jib real quick, Leo? Can we take the
Oh,
jib?
God.
Let's take the jib.
No, let's not.
This is my favorite one. Now stay there. Don't
Oh my
move
God.
for COVID. It's my favorite. This is Kendall on her porch.
Is this my New Year's Eve shot?
It's right there.
Is that what you're impersonating
Yeah,
right
that was
now?
your New Year's Eve shot. I loved it. No matter where, Kendall has a photo shoot for everything. I love it. It's fantastic. But no, I'm glad you had a good birthday.
I did. You know what I learned though, Jason?
What?
Turning 31, it's like the actual day things get rougher. So listen to this. I had a mimosa on Sunday.
Okay.
And then I went to one of the cute like outdoor breweries, so I had a beer.
Okay.
Then I had a Cosmo for dinner and a Jack and Diet late night. So there's 4 drinks over like a full day. That
Yeah.
shouldn't do anything. I was doing nothing yesterday for a reason. I felt awful.
No, I get
You
it.
get older and the sugar and the things, it's
Yes.
just awful.
The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. It's my favorite song. It
Did you
is.
just call me an old gray mare?
No, me. That was me on Sunday. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I get it. I'm glad you're back. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, and now that I made fun of you, just know I showered you with love yesterday.
I appreciate
did.
it. I do. I mean, birthdays are better than the alternative for sure. So,
Absolutely.
hey,
It's better than, the alternative.
I'll take it. Okay, we can move on now, can't we? Is it time?
Hot dish. Let's go, Leo. Roll it. Okay, so the winter TV season is underway, and one new show is getting a lot of buzz in the new year. It features characters from the Marvel movies in an old school setting. Look at this.
Well, I assure you, I'm married to a man, a human one.
Wanda.
But it's raining and I ride, wipe the sleep out of my
We are an unusual couple.
Oh, I don't think that was ever in question.
Okay, so that's a clip from the new show WandaVision on Disney+. featuring the superheroes Wanda and her husband Vision. It takes place after Avengers Endgame, with the characters living in episode 1 in the 50s. Episode 2, which also dropped, in the 60s, where things really aren't what they seem. So here's the deal. When the show opens up, you are literally inside a 1950s era sitcom like Donna Reed, Father Knows Best. Then in the second episode, you're in a 60s era sitcom. And as you see from the trailer here, which I would recommend watching immediately after you watch these 2 episodes, in episode 2, they are now in a 60s era sitcom. But things aren't right. Why are they in a sitcom? Things start kind of malfunctioning. And there are moments of realization between the characters where they're like, what is going on? Which adds to the mystery of like, what is going on? Then in that preview you see in the weeks ahead, they're going to be in a 70s era sitcom like The Brady Bunch, then the 80s, then the 90s. Who is putting these characters basically inside a TV? Now, there are theories. Here's a theory. I'm just going to throw it out there. If you want to know nothing, mute the TV for just a second. The theory is that this show is launching a new era for Marvel, and the new big bad, the new villain, is somebody called the Grim Reaper, which is a legendary villain in the Marvel comic books. So people say there are Easter eggs hinting to that. That he's part of this, whatever this is. Which I got to tell you, episode 1 I was frustrated and I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch this. But then it's so original, and right now when we're complaining endlessly about reboots, because this is original and you don't know what's going on, by the end of episode 2, I want episode 3 right now. I want to see this unfold. It's so good.
So I'm not as familiar with the format that they're doing these in. Is it the same thing where they only do like 1 a week that they're releasing this? It's not going to be a big chunk that you can sit down and watch?
For Disney Plus, they're only releasing. They release 2 episodes right away, but now they're going to release 1 a week, I believe, on Fridays.
Oh, make us wait.
Yeah, it's so good though, and I wouldn't have said that if I would have ended on episode 1, but episode 2 made me go, this is intriguing.
Okay.
Next in the dish, it may be the middle of winter, but HBO Max has a lot of people talking about golf, specifically Tiger Woods. The network just released part 2 of the documentary on the golfer from HBO Sports, and it is, eye-opening. Here's a little bit of the trailer.
When Tiger was 10 months old, I unstrapped him out of his high chair one day, and he walked over and hit the ball. There it is. I said, oh my God, I've got something special.
I think Earl had the master plan since Tiger started walking. He asked me to ask his dad if he could play some other sports, but Mr. Woods said he had to concentrate on his golf.
I wanted to protect that sweetness of him. It was a quality that I loved about him. I could tell he didn't know what was coming.
Tiger was going to be this bridge between all the different races and tribes of humanity.
How are you handling all the adulation?
I honestly don't feel comfortable with that.
So it's divided into 2 parts. Part 1 was really the beginning of his career, beginning of his life. You see how he really was, for lack of better word, built. Kind of like built by his father and mother and programmed. From the get-go, he was going to be a golf phenomenon at the expense of everything else. That blonde woman that you saw there is Tiger's first girlfriend in high school, who plays a really large part in part 1. And there's Rachel, you could tell, I'll get to her. But anyway, you feel for this girlfriend because she was really the last person to have an intimate relationship with Tiger as Tiger was before fame. And you see her talk about, and she still has the breakup letter, and the breakup, I'm not going to give anything away, heartbreaking. Part 2 is all about Tiger post Earl's death, Earl being his father, and the slow downward spiral that Tiger went down. And the most fascinating thing one of the fascinating things is you learn things about Tiger's father that aren't great. And you can see when you learn about stuff about Earl, you can draw a direct line and go, Tiger, if he doesn't turn down another street, he's going to land directly where Earl was. And he landed exactly where Earl was. I also walked away. You know, there's a scene at the end that I'm going to reference in the part 2 where Tiger's trying to make a rebound, trying to make a recovery after his recovery, after both the accident, the revelation about the affairs, plural, and then he was pulled over like in 2018 or 2019 for being on Ambien, blah, blah, blah. And he's at the Masters, and he's getting ready to play, and the head of Augusta, this guy, I think his name is Billy, has a press conference and chastises and basically is preaching to Tiger about how he hopes Tiger, I'm paraphrasing, I hope Tiger will live up to the expectations that children have. And Brian Gumbel is interviewed, and I instantly got mad watching that dude. And then Brian Gumbel comes on and perfectly says, "Who the are you?" Tiger deserved judgment from his mother. He deserved judgment from his wife, from his friends, from his business partners. You, from Augusta, from the Masters, when you hypocrite. Look around. I'm sure other people in that golf club have done worse or exactly the same as Tiger. And he got on national TV and had this disgusting press conference. I got so angry because here's Tiger no longer hiding anything, admitting to everything, and here's this dude preaching to him like a public shaming. It was disgusting. And Brian Gumbel I can't even say what Brian Gumbel had, but anyway, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I loved it.
He has changed, Tiger, and speaking of what you're saying, completely changed the game of golf.
Yes.
Absolutely, 100%. The way golfers even just physically look, like their build is different because of Tiger. So when I remembered what you're talking about, and it was not
and I'm
okay.
not Sporty Spice, but I remember that. And then they show him at the Masters in 2019, which I was in Vegas watching. I'm not a sports guy.
Tears.
I cried.
So cool.
I did.
It was so cool.
Because I can remember Tiger's first appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show in '97. After the first Masters, and her entrance, she's like, "Here comes Tiger Woods," and he comes out, and you just felt, I don't know, it was amazing. Tiger, HBO Max. Stay right there. We'll be back right after this. There's still a slice or two of hot dish. Still ahead, villain Victoria. Is she just as evil as she was last week on The Bachelor? Producer Ted weighs in. Then winter can be a rough time for plants in your house. So how do you keep them alive and, well, thriving? Shayla from Plant Penthouse is back with some great ideas. And Ted shocked us all when he revealed his vile hatred for a great American treat, banana bread. But sadly, it didn't stop there. You weighed in on the foods that are a hard no. That and more still ahead.
Can I steal you for a second?
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see you here. I guess I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, how are you?
Hey. Good.
I finally was able to start having a conversation with Matt. As it's flowing really well, Sarah shows up. It just caught me off guard. You know, at the time I didn't know what was happening. So I hate to interrupt, but Sarah interrupted.
Sarah?
What? Yeah, so I don't know.
Why is she here?
I don't think she would just come just to like talk to him. I think something's up.
Oh. I think either way it's disrespectful because yeah, like I'll interrupt my own group date, but I would never step outside on another group date.
Yeah, like, why are they interrupting? Like, I had him to myself, and then Sarah come over, and I was like, what up? The rules no longer apply as a group date gets interrupted, and it's pitting the women against one of the frontrunners. It was another week of The Bachelor, and as the feelings grow between Matt and the women, tensions could be too much for some. And that means, once again, it's time for Some of America Loves Ted. That's right. I'm changing, Ted, I'm sorry. And we're gonna get to Banana Bread Gate later, but we gotta change that animation. Ted joins us from Bachelor Nation. Okay, so after Sarah interrupted that date,
unprecedented.
Okay, that's unprecedented?
I mean, it may have happened before, but it wasn't her date. But somehow she found her way to the date and interrupted a one-on-one.
That's horrible.
Don't do that.
I hope President Trump gives her a pardon, because that's absolutely horrible.
But I love how Victoria is like, I mean, I would interrupt my own group date. I just wouldn't interrupt someone else's group date. That's where she draws the line.
I love that I know. It's funny that there are lines like that. That's funny. Did the women let it go, though?
Oh, absolutely not. So you had, so Sarah interrupted Katie's one-on-one time. Katie then came back and said, hey guys, can I cut in? And so this is them cutting in, and they were like, yeah, give us 5 minutes. And she's like, give us 5 minutes. And Katie goes, I'll give you 3 minutes. So then she gives them 3 minutes. Anyways, so they break up here. They don't break up, but they go their separate ways. And then Sarah, for the next 48 hours, the women just don't let it go. I mean, they say, why did you do this? This was horrible. You're a horrible person. I mean, on one level, I'm like, I'm on the women's side here. And then it shifted because I was like, all right, you're taking this too far. Get over it.
So they were piling on.
Oh, yeah. It was borderline bullying.
I know. Okay, so did she, at the end of the episode, what did she do? Did she just,
She decided to go home.
Seriously?
That's what they're saying. I'm a skeptic. I think they just took her to another part of she wasn't getting along with the women. The isolation was killing her. So I think they took her to another side of the resort, and she's going to come back in a few weeks. What happened on the group date? So this is Jeff's nightmare. So they were doing a poetry slam of romance novels. Basically, it was inspired by Chris Harrison. He's apparently written a romance novel himself.
Who knew?
So they get up, they write down their fantasies with Matt. Take a look.
Matt picked up Katie, eager to kiss her. She could feel his while she with excitement. Before he set her down, he teasing her. All the way to his
Ted, this is ABC!
I know. I don't know how they put this stuff on TV. And that is the only clip we can show on our show, but there was 5 more minutes of it last night.
I've said this before about ABC. This is the network of the Love Boat. They didn't have to beep Captain Steubing.
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters have never been bleeped. Home Improvement. Tool Time never had to be beeped.
Nope.
Corky from Life Goes On didn't need to be beeped.
And some of the women, you could just see they were just like.
That's embarrassing. I'm not a prude, but come on. Anyway, okay. There was a one-on-one, I hear.
With Serena P. She told him that she is falling in like with him.
Falling in like?
Yeah. So that's my one takeaway from it. And he told her he's never loved a woman before, which is a huge, huge red flag if you're thinking long-term on this show.
Oh, he revealed that?
Yeah. It doesn't bode well.
Kendall is saying that we already kind of knew that. Well, Kendall's...
that's what people say.
Yeah.
I must have missed it.
Yeah. Kendall, I guess, Ted, she's flipping through the internets.
Next week?
Yeah.
They're bringing 5 more new women on. Never done before. They're bringing new women in.
They're cycling them in.
Yeah, they're just... Here you go.
Are they getting rid? Are they getting rid of 5 to replace? That's what I mean by cycling in. Are they getting rid of 5 to bring 5 more in? Or all of them are saying?
I think they're just bringing them in. Victoria, have at them.
Wow.
And she's still there.
Victoria's still there?
Yep.
Okay. Ted, thank you. We'll be talking about you in a not flattering way coming up in just a few minutes, okay?
Uh-oh.
Well, your whole banana bread thing. It was shocking.
Gross.
No, see? Really quick, though. because we're not going to talk to you in the actual segment.
Yep.
Defend yourself right here. What do you have against banana bread?
I like bananas. I don't like anything flavored with bananas.
And you know what I'm going to say? Because Tyler, floor director Tyler, is shaking his hand. You know what I'm going to say, Ted?
They're real bananas.
Exactly. That's a great imitation of me, by the way. But they're not. It's not banana flavoring. It's actual bananas. That doesn't make a difference.
I'd like some cinnamon raisin bread or something.
Oh, now see, now you lost me. Thank you, Ted. What do you think of The Bachelor?
Well, we did know that he'd never been in love, and I know why Ted doesn't know. It's because it was the part where Chris Harrison interviewed him right in the beginning of the season, and you know Ted just fast forwards to the ladies.
Yeah.
So he didn't listen to that part. Number two, I think it's really bad news when they're bringing in new women. Like, oh, was he already just like, I don't really know how I feel about any of these chicks? Or was this premeditated because it's boring because it's a pandemic and they can't go anywhere? I don't know.
I think it's a combination of 2 and 3. We'll see. Next in the dish. Here, if you're looking for something to watch, here we go. If you're into TV shows and movies about serial killers, there's a funny sentence. The next one is right up your alley. It's called Night Stalker, The Hunt for a Serial Killer. It just dropped on Netflix. Let's look at the trailer and we'll talk about it on the other side.
You got us a serial killer.
There were no doubt about it. This was a pretty sick individual.
The so-called Night Stalker who has terrorized California.
The same man is suspected in 6 to 8 murders and 25 to 30 attacks.
He's someone that will go into a home at night and will kill.
I woke up to a very loud noise, to which I responded, John, and immediately I knew it wasn't John, but something was there.
Nope, it wasn't John. Night Stalker's on Netflix. So it's all about the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, who in 1985, as the trailer says, terrorized California. And here's what makes this, if you don't know anything about Richard Ramirez, if you don't know anything about the Night Stalker, here's what, if you break it down, made him so different from other serial killers and way more terrifying, in my opinion, as you find out. There was no rhyme or reason. Now, a lot of serial killers have types. They go after a demographic of human, or a type of situation. Richard Ramirez went after men, women, kids, old, young, middle-aged, in this neighborhood, in that neighborhood. It was all across, and then he even went into San Francisco. Terrifying. Because you never knew, nobody, it's a cliche, nobody was safe in the summer of '85. And it just breaks your heart because you know, I have a soft spot for grandparents. And in one of the stories, one of the, I think it was 17 victims, probably more, was a grandmother, a beloved grandmother. And you see the granddaughter interviewed, who was about my age, and talked about what her grandmother meant to her. And it's me. And I thought about, oh my God, if that was me, you know, I would have, and I lost my grandmother, but not like that, thank goodness. And you put yourself in the situation of these families, and it's horrible. But it's fascinating how he was caught and how the public helped in that. And did you watch it?
Yeah, I binged it yesterday.
Did you binge it?
I watched all 4 episodes yesterday.
What was your big takeaway? What did you...
I agree with you that I thought every episode, what I enjoyed about it, it left you wanting more.
Yes.
At the end, there was always a hook, and like you didn't see what he looked like until the end.
Yep.
Also, what was really creepy was what you were saying about how it wasn't rhyme or reason. And at the end, and this isn't giving anything away, people that were sort of fangirl about him was just so disturbing to me.
The women
That
sending him
whole
love
thing.
letters. Yes.
Yeah, and cheering for him, and the families of those he'd killed were like, you're cheering for my grandmother's murderer.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? It was really good if you can handle those kind of shows.
If you like true crime, it's on Netflix. It's called Night Stalker. Still ahead, everybody. What foods do you not like that everyone else likes? You guys chimed in on our Facebook page, and we'll read them in a little bit. But next, have some new plants for the new year? How to keep them fresh and alive for the long run. Our good friend Shayla from the Plant Penthouse is back with the answers when we return. Welcome back. trying to spruce up our homes during the pandemic, but how do you make your house plants really thrive in 2021? Here with tips is our good friend Shayla from Plant Penthouse. Welcome back, Shayla.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
Happy New Year.
Right back at you. Happy New Year.
Okay, I love this because, you know, you and I have always joked that I do not have a green thumb whatsoever. I kill plastic plants. That's why we have plastic plants here in our studio. But I love a good list. 5 ways to help plants thrive in 2021. Number 1, let there be light.
Let there be light. Exactly. So with plants, you know, you go into the plant store and they're asking you, okay, bright light, low light, indirect light. What does it actually mean? And so with that, I'll break down the 3 common plant lighting. And the first is low light. And with that, that's areas that are 7 feet or more away from the window or don't have any light. Think about a bathroom with no windows, or my closet is an example. And with those, they will, some plants are adaptable to low light, but if you have that situation, plants like a ZZ, a snake plant, or Chinese evergreens are the best for low light situations.
Okay, and Leo, don't put this, I love this graphic because I have never had, we've obviously done over the years every garden segment imaginable. I have never seen a visual representation of what it means for medium, low. This is so helpful because when you go into a store and you're trying to find a plant to start with, I don't know what constitutes low light. So this is very helpful. I love that.
Yeah, and that's right from the Tonkadale blog website. And it's really nice to see it broken down, especially if you're at home or ordering online or what have you. And so, for example, medium light, that is if it's like you have trees outside and you have that dappled light, as some people call it. And that's about 3 feet from a window. So plants like monsteras or palms, calatheas do well in medium light. And then there is bright light. And so as you see, there is indirect and then there is direct. And direct bright light is if there's about 6 to 8 hours of sunshine that's coming through a west or southern facing window, whereas indirect light is great if it's around 3 feet away from a window. Again, if it's a little obstructed, and so you see like I have a palm that's a little further away from the window, so it's still getting that indirect light. And if none of this still makes any sense, a quick test that you can do is take a piece of paper or any type of paper that's easy to see your shadow. And if you place your hand about a foot away from that piece of paper, if your shadow is very faint, that means you're getting low light. And if your shadow is blurry or fuzzy, hey, you are operating in medium light. And if you have a clear, you can visibly see it's crisp with your shadow, then that means that you have bright light.
Love it. Number 2, don't wait, hydrate.
Yes. So watering is one of the most important things that if done well, it can really guarantee your plants have a great chance of survival. And so right now we're in winter. Overwatering is a big thing right now. And so you can adjust your watering schedule. So a tip that I have is, you can accessorize. It makes watering actually fun, whether you have fun watering cans or misters or a humidifier that goes with your decor. That's a great way to add to your decor and also to your plants. And also right now, because we have consistent heat, one thing to think about is either placing them away from that heat source, but also making sure that you're able to add moisture to the air. So if that's placing your plants on a tray of pebbles, again, or having that humidifier, and also you can check the soil. Get dirty, put a finger right in about an inch or 2 down into that soil. And if it's dry, it's time for a drink.
Pruning protocols.
Yes, this is one where don't be afraid to prune your plants. An example I had my little pothos that had some yellowing leaves, and you clip those right off. And the great thing about it is that actually by pruning your plants, it allows that energy to go to other areas. So it keeps your plants nice and green.
Pesky pest prevention. Try to say that 4 times.
I know, right? That's called a tongue twister. And pests, I learned the hard way with this one, that it is very important to check your plants. And what I say is while you're checking them, a great way is to also wipe them down, because what that can do is if there is any dust, and this is an example of, I had a wonderful bird of paradise that was lush and lavish, and I left him alone for a little too long without providing the proper maintenance. And sure enough, he had a spider mite infestation, and Biggie went to Smalls. This is his new name, after we had to do an emergency amputation.
Oh my God. I never thought I would hear the term emergency amputation on one of your segments, but here we are.
Hey, plant care is serious, Jason.
That's right. It is serious. And number 5, I think this is my favorite, make them everlasting. Dried or faux plants. I'm already there.
You are already there. And you know what? I'm joining the party. And with that, because there's no right or wrong way to plant parent. And so even if you aren't in an environment that is conducive to the plants that you desire, you can go faux, whether it's with palms. I picked up Palea because I love those. And I knew I wanted to add some green to my closet. And you know what? I placed it in there and haven't looked twice. And with that, you can also add to the aesthetic with faux plants. You can mix them in with your real ones, or you can even go with the dried plants as well. It's great to throw those in a vase, or you can even go with artwork. I had a local artist sketch me with some of my favorite plants, and there are so many ways to add green to your life.
Okay, before we go, I'm going to brag on you a little bit. I usually like to start an interview with a compliment, but I'm going to end. Our buddy Shayla, who you're looking at right there, she has recently been featured in the Star Tribune, Minnesota Monthly, MSP Home Design. She's a finalist for the Twin Cities Collective as Best of 2020. She features by Home Goods, Apartment Therapy, Artful Living. She sings on the weekends. She's going to be a pro golfer. She's running for Senate. I mean, she does it all. Congratulations, Shayla.
Oh, thank you so much, Jason. You really are a blessing to my life.
Hey, and I told you, I wrote it on your thing for the holidays, and I'll say what I said there. In the past few years, you're one of the best new additions to our show. We are lucky to have you, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Bye, Shayla. For more information, go to theplantpenthouse.com. Still ahead, everybody. We're talking movies that are turning 20 years old. When we come back. Back in a moment.
You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen.
Oh, Kendall and I were just talking. I love this scene. I always said, I wish someone, right there, I want someone to sweep me off my feet with an umbrella while sparkles fall from the sky. It happened. Who can forget that famous scene in the movie Moulin Rouge? The movie is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. Weird. Welcome back. Last week we looked at songs turning 20 in the new year. Now we're focusing on movies. It was the year of Oscar-winning dramas like A Beautiful Mind and Memento, and bombs like Joe Dirt and Glitter.
Speaking of glitter.
Hashtag poor Mariah. Just give her a fragrant moment. 2001 was also the year a little film franchise debuted you might have heard of.
Curious. Very curious.
That's right, the first Harry Potter movie came out in November of 2001, going on to earn $1 billion. 7 sequels followed. And on a personal note, that movie will look, I love Harry Potter, and I will always. That movie holds a special place in my heart because the premiere of The Sorcerer's Stone was my very first live appearance on television ever.
Really?
I had taped stuff for years, but it was my first live shot. I was on the morning show, but my first out in the field was the premiere, and I wore this little red sweater. I wore little round glasses. I looked like I was 7.
Were you
and
so nervous?
I was, no.
Really?
Yeah. It's just, I was ready, girl. I was like, are you kidding me?
Out
Oh,
there.
yeah. At the hospital, I mean, we had Johnny Carson curtains for my mom when I was born. It was like, anyway. But you'll see that coming up soon in February. Jeff has pulled old clips for me from over the years. That wasn't the only franchise to kick off in 2001. Peter Jackson's first Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, came out that same year, leading to a pair of sequels and other spin-offs, and now a show on Amazon. Were you, I know you're a nerd like me, were you a Lord of the Rings fan?
I've read all of the books, including The Silmarillion and all The Hobbit, and I absolutely loved these movies.
Not a fan of the Hobbits. Not a fan of the Hobbits.
The
no.
book itself, though, is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it better than the Lord of the Rings books.
Yeah, I didn't like the Hobbit film series, but this I love. One of the biggest summer blockbusters turning 20 this year starred a Minnesota dude. Look.
Evelyn, have you ever seen Pearl Harbor at sunset?
Of course.
Well, from the air?
God, this movie was horrible. Josh Hartnett, Ben Affleck, and Kate Beckinsale starred in Pearl Harbor. Some predicted it would be the next Titanic, but instead, it was the next Joe Dirt. It received mostly negative reviews. The only positive review was from a very, very young Kendall.
I loved that movie, and I still love that movie, and I stand by that.
The only good thing to come from that movie is Faith Hill's song in there.
That was a fantastic
Yeah,
song.
There You'll Be, or There I'll Be, or
There You'll Be.
or Get Out of My Life, or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good. But yeah, that was...
How do you not like that movie, honestly?
Easy. I saw it once and I'll never see it again. And I'm a guy that watches movies twice, 3 times. 4 times a lady. I'll never see that again. It was horrible.
Okay.
Awful.
Fine.
It just awful. And it never ended. I don't even know how long it was. Hey Siri, how long was Pearl Harbor the movie? Which one? Siri goes,
Which one?
which one? What do you mean which one? Was there a sequel to
There's
Pearl
a
Harbor?
sequel to Pearl Harbor?
I don't know. Oh, 3 hours? 3 hours and 3 minutes long.
Was it really?
Yeah. Still ahead, we're talking about some of the most popular foods that you hate when we come back. 3 hours. No. Welcome back. Reading Facebook here. Nicole on the Jason Show Facebook page wrote, when Jason doesn't like something, he really doesn't like it. Yes.
Don't
say. It's the whole show, man. But when I like something, I love it. Welcome back. During yesterday's show, we learned producer Ted hates banana bread, but loves bananas. That revelation led to an interesting discussion on the Jason Show Facebook page. We asked all of you, forget Ted, what food do you hate, capital H hate, that everyone else loves? Answers ranged from seafood and cilantro to coffee and ketchup. And here are some of our favorites. First up, it's Jenny. Hi, Jenny. I have a list my family says is un-American. I don't like coffee, I don't like bacon, I don't like French fries, and I don't like mac and cheese.
Sounds healthy.
Don't defend her. There is no defending that. I like everything on that list. I could eat everything on that list every day of my life. Stephanie says, ugh, bacon, it's so disgusting.
Yeah, I don't like bacon. Ew, it's disgusting. It's pig fat.
Okay.
Have I offended someone?
We're not going to have a staff left. I've gotten rid of Ted, and now we have to get rid of her. Sylvia has one of the best responses. She says, this is really weird. My son does not like round foods. Blueberries, grapes, olives, peas, cherry tomatoes. Never has since childhood, and he's 40 now. Okay. There's nothing better than that. Sylvia was her name? There's nothing better than that.
It's no follow-up.
But can I say, Sylvia, and this isn't a referendum on you or your son or your parenting, but I want to see my mother, if I would have looked at her and said, yeah, I'm sorry, Dar, I don't eat round foods. My mother would have been like, yeah, well, you're not eating. Or she would have just, snap out of it. She would have shared me. Yeah, no, I didn't have a choice. You know what my choice was? eating what she made me or going hungry. Yeah. Miranda is next. Hers is tuna. I threatened to divorce my husband over bringing it into my house. Several parts of that sentence are interesting. Threatening divorce over a fish. And also she referred to it as my house.
Mine.
I love her.
Mine.
Mine. Up next, our former coworker, Ted. Now, not Ted, producer. Ted Holler, lawyer, fantastic reporter. He says, Thanksgiving dinner, all of it. Now, we heard this from a few people. And by the way, that's one of the reasons Ted doesn't work here anymore. That's right.
That's how he feels about Thanksgiving
I love
dinner.
you, Ted. Yeah. Lisa has a list. Pop or anything carbonated. She's with Kendall with the bacon thing. And pickles. She says she's been deemed strange and inhuman. I mean, the bacon thing does anyway. Christy also has a list. Melted cheese, pork sausage, hamburgers, and absolutely no hot dogs.
You don't know what's in those.
Yes, you do. Do you really know? Do you really know what's in a lot of things?
No.
Exactly. Exactly.
No.
We saw the next one quite a bit. Kathy says, as much as I've tried and tried, I can't do watermelon. Not a fan of the fragrance or taste. Oh, I could eat watermelon morning, noon, night.
Yummy.
It is nature's candy. Karen says chili. She can't stand the smell of it, and yet everyone I know loves it. Again, I guess I'm an oddball. I could eat chili every day.
I love chili.
I love chili. My grandma Mazak used to make good chili. Mother-in-law Haas makes good chili when she doesn't use deer.
Venison?
She tried to trick me one time with venison.
Venison sausage is delicious.
No. Sorry.
Okay.
You don't like bacon, I don't like Bambi. Katie has an unusual one, mashed potatoes. I couldn't stand them at all as a kid. They made me gag. I'm just opposite of every one of these people.
So good.
Oh, mashed potatoes are the work of... Tony probably isn't a fan of the state fair. She says anything that comes on a stick. No. I mean, there are some things. Like the candy bar dipped... No,
Oh, they hurt my cavities.
it's bad. You should get those fixed. Paulette says, I love chocolate and I love peanut butter, but really dislike them anyway together. She dislikes the two. Oh, no. That is a gift from the heavens, too.
Yeah, what's
peanut
wrong
butter
with
and
you?
chocolate and put some caramel up in there.
Ooh,
Oh,
girl.
yeah. I am my mother's son, because anything caramel, well, however you say it, oh, I'm there. I don't care if it's on bacon.
Luscious.
We'll be right back. Stay with us. But seriously, bacon, I didn't know that about you. That's going in your employee file. Welcome back. Yes, as the light says, we are on the air. Let's see here. One more comment. Someone, where was it? Doesn't like, oh, no, talked about a black diamond watermelon. I've never had that. What is a black? I would like it in my mouth right now. I would like that on, I don't know. Do you know what a black diamond watermelon is?
No, we
I
must
need to find out what it
out.
is and where I can get one.
Yes.
Hey, if you miss our show, don't worry. You can watch us on our sister station for our replay at noon or on YouTube. All episodes are right there. Search for The Jason Show and hit that subscribe button. We thank you in advance. And we're going to come back with our bubblegum goodbye right after this. Well, Kendall reminded me, welcome back, that instead of the bubblegum goodbye, I didn't really list off the foods that I hate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a little list. I wanted to make sure. A little list.
Yeah.
Liver and onions. My mother, I mentioned that because my mother ate that. Baked potatoes and pecan pie when she was pregnant with me.
Oh.
That's all she ate. She would crave it. She'd, I want baked potatoes. And then my dad had to get up and make her baked potatoes. Anyway, salmon. Wish I liked salmon. I don't like salmon. Duck of any kind. I've had people try to make duck, big chefs, little chefs, famous
it's very
chefs.
gamey.
It's no matter how people have made it for me, I hate it. I hate it. Olives, sorry, can't stand olives. And then finally, green peppers.
Wow.
They are the infectious disease of vegetables because no matter what they touch, it infects everything. You put it on pizza, don't tell me, oh, you can pick it off. No, because if you pick it off, the flavor still remains.
Jeff, he feels very strongly about this.
It's like it's like an infectious rash.
Okay.
Yeah.
A rash.
I hate green peppers. That's it. I got really violent there about the green peppers.
Yep, you did.
All right, is the show over yet? It is over. Okay, that's it. If you're a kid out there watching that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, and sorry to the green pepper farmers.